Unidentified gunmen opened fire on oil tankers and assault drivers along National Highway 37. Imphal Ziri Road, Malom oil depot and oil pumps to remain shut from tomorrow. Indefinite curfew imposed in border town More after miscreants tried to bulldoze remnant structures of burned houses and shops belonging to Maitai community. Home Department warns against encroachment and occupation on properties of displaced people and religious buildings. Violators would be liable for contempt of court for non-compliance. Committee on Tribal Unity Sadar Hill Kangpokpi decides to claim bodies of Kuki Zo people from morgues in Imphal. Gotu makes it clear that their decision is not a peace initiative. Chief Minister Nongpambam Biren says Manipur violence handiwork of outsiders, a fight between government and drug mafia. Biren claims Manipuri Kuki people still trust him. Supreme Court denies extension of interim protection from arrest to Dr. Kamkhan Son Hosing, a professor of political science at the University of Hyderabad. And Manipur observes World Mental Health Day. Health Minister Dr. Sapam Ranjan encourages all to seek help in dealing with mental health issues. Hello and welcome to Impact News. You're watching Prime Time English Bulletin. I'm BABINA HAJARIMAYUM bringing the top stories and latest news at this hour. Unidentified gunmen opened fire on oil tankers along the National Highway 37 in Imphal Ziri Road and also assaulted drivers along the highway. Condemning the incident, all Manipur Petroleum Products Transporters Associations and all Manipur Petroleum Products Drivers Association launched steering wheel down strike until adequate security is provided to oil tankers. The two associations also decided to close Malom Oil Depot and all the oil pumps from tomorrow until a negotiation is brought over the matter. Addressing the media today at Kaitel Manbi, AMTA President El Somendro narrated that 169 oil tankers were heading towards Imphal along National Highway 37 yesterday, and as the tankers were passing through Nungba area at around 8:30 p.m., unidentified assailants fired bullets on two of the oil tankers. He said bullets hit tankers with registration numbers AS01, GC 3847 and AS25, BC 5299. Somendra complained that government is turning deaf ear over their repeated pleas to provide adequate escorts to vehicles along the national highway as antisocial activities like extortion by unknown miscreants are frequently reported. He also said miscreants have now hiked their extortion amount from ₹4,000 rupees to 4,500 rupees per vehicle.
Manipur government amasung mari lenabasing da haibsi hanjan tenki gari amasung LPG da hanjan lut tobasing na tawribasing che thingbiyo na kera kan haidna la abni mari lenaba department na action amta lokut pitabigi mamini ngasi thoibi incident se gari tara gi mathakta thugari gari ani ama bullet injury oi masina maram oidina IOC malom depot ki function hayeng de ki tororoi aro pam singda driver community gi gieng biraga pam singju thonglo na ban akhoi ne chu request okre yanadir phawdi akhoi MT changdabi warep che ngasi de gi logjare Loti dum lakani adu malom di pota koi khali to bugi program di leroi nungba da khambilong da tukul nungul lauri mem se hana lupa lising amaga changa chatu lorom di husik lupa lising mari makhai gi mathakta lokhlakpa driver amasung mapusing da pubu thangba ngamakta degi maru ina paisa pi degi tholokpa ngasi incidents ne na aisu hajani.
Speaking to media, AMDA Secretary Mukta Nongbri said they have repeatedly approached Manipur Chief Secretary to provide adequate security to drivers who are transporting goods for people along the national highways by risking their lives. He also condemned that unknown miscreants had assaulted drivers with sticks and questioned who will take responsibility if any untoward incidents happen to the drivers.
ไอ้นาฮันนะชู first time da machine นงไม่มารูปาละกันจะไอ้ chief secretary daชูไอ้นาไฮครับเนี่ยบ่เจชูทักครับเนี่ยบ่การัมบ security โนไอ้คอยdaปีริเชนาฮันดอดุกี้ไอ้คอยน่ะเจทักเลยไอ้คอยกี้ตรงอันน่ะปูบิโร request ตัวเรปีเรตรงอันน่ะอดุปีระก็ไอ้คอยน่ะตรงอันน่ะปีโรให้ไปเช tight security daปูน่ะbeginเนี่ยบ่ชีบู tight security ra this has been happening repeatedly ท้าวให้ไปเชตางน่ะยวนบ่ปอดชุนะเตบาราชูเฮงกัดปชูยาเดไอ้คอยda पैसा non stop the chum lo na le ri che sarkar bu le bra le tabra kwai na maru che who is responsible is the chief secretary responsible is the Kuldeep security advisor to the CM or is the CM responsible tell us we will sit down and talk it over and that too with a white paper now no playing games around this time.
Indefinite curfew is being imposed in Indo-Myanmar border town Moreh after miscreants believed to be from Kuki community tried to flatten the remnant structures of burned houses and shops that belong to Meitei community. Miscreants tried to flatten the remains of building structures using machines just like what had happened to Meitei properties in Churachandpur. Tengnopal DC imposed indefinite curfew since this morning and also took various security measures. Special commandos of Manipur police were airlifted to Moreh using helicopter in order to prevent miscreants from bulldozing the structures and to maintain law and order in the border areas. Personnel of Rapid Action Force reached Moreh via roadway. With heavy security deployment in Moreh, no incidents of bulldozing the remnants of building structure have been reported so far. Home Department warns against encroachments and occupation on properties of displaced people and on religious buildings. Press statement issued today by Commissioner Home Government of Manipur T. Ranjit says such encroachment activities could further ignite or aggravate law and order situation in the state. Anybody found violating will be booked under relevant provision of law of the land and shall be liable for contempt of court for non-compliance of orders on the same passed by the Supreme Court of India on September 25. Committee on Tribal Unity Sadar Hill Kangpokpi has decided to claim the bodies of Kuki Zo people killed in Manipur conflict, whose are lying at various mosques in Valley region of the state. Kotu, however, made it clear that the decision is not a peace initiative and has nothing to do with government's efforts to restore peace in Manipur. According to Kotu Media Cell Coordinator Lun Kipgen, Kotu, along with families of victims and district authority, agreed to bury all the bodies at Marcher Cemetery in Paizang village with full honor. He said date for the funeral is yet to be decided. He appealed to the people and CSOs in the valley not to disrupt the movement of bodies till the burial site.
Since there is an ongoing political discussion with the Sioux group, with the hope that the center government would eventually give us a leverage, that this is the first step towards that. It has nothing to do with peace that is badly needed in the state. Taking a loved one, it has nothing to do with peace initiative. This is not about peace initiative. It's rather about trust with the center government and the ongoing talks with our Sioux group had with the center government.
Chief Minister Nongthombam Birain says free movement regime should not have happened as it is difficult to keep a track of who have gone back and who have settled here. Chief Minister said this in an exclusive interview with Indian Express newspaper published today. When asked about how the current situation in Manipur is different from other ethnic conflicts recorded in Manipur's history, Chief Minister N. Birain in the interview reiterated his stance and said that the current situation isn't a dispute between two communities, but it's a fight between government and drug mafia. He added drug mafia's true target was the government, but they could not succeed and instead exploited the vulnerable section of Meitei people in the state's periphery to create unrest. When asked what is keeping him Awake at Night, Chief Minister N. Biren said people are feeling unsafe right now and he wants to make them feel confident and secure again. On being asked why he hasn't met with families of the victims, N. Biren said he wanted to go and console the Kuki families, but the situation was tense and he was being targeted and blamed by Kuki people. And since he did not visit Kuki families, he also refrained from visiting the families of Meitei victims, as people might perceive it as biased gesture. When asked how he would address the concern of Kuki people regarding the government, the Chief Minister said Manipuri Kuki people still trust him and it is only the outsiders who are threatened by his actions, as they are worried they will be identified and sent back and that they are the ones creating rift. He said government's actions were not directed towards the original Kuki people or ordinary citizens. Chief Minister N. Biren also thanked the leadership in Delhi for treating Manipur issue as a national issue. Supreme Court of India denied further extension of interim protection from arrest to Dr. Kamkan Sonhosing, a professor of political science at the University of Hyderabad, on Monday. A division bench of the Supreme Court comprising Justices Aniruddha Bose and Bella M. Trivedi was hearing a transfer petition praying to transfer a criminal petition instituted under Articles 226 and 482 of the Constitution in the Manipur High Court to the Delhi High Court. The division bench allowed Dr. Kamkan Sonhosing to file a petition before the High Court of Manipur virtually and allowed his counsel to appear via online. The professor is facing criminal charges under sections 153A, 200, 295A, 298, 505 subsection I and 120B of the Indian Penal Code after giving an interview to a national media on Manipur situations. On July 10, a second FIR was filed against him on the ground that his name had been added to the electoral roll of the Churachandpur Assembly constituency in 2005, allegedly using fraudulent means. Lamlai MLA Khongban Tabam Ibomcha calls for collective efforts to save Manipur, which is in a critical state. Speaking as the chief guest of the closing ceremony of Right to Information Week Celebration 2023 organized by Manipur Information Commission at Manipur Press Club in Imphal today, MLA Ibomcha urged the present generation to remember the contributions and sacrifices made by forefathers to safeguard Manipur's territorial integrity.
Sigi Manipur ki lei film je yamna luba film amani aduna film sida bai una thambiram ba singtam apunba Manipur ama ngakna thambagi tangai phaduga lei adu leibanina ai ya pamba ma ya pamba political party ki ideology ki khenaba punama kauthoka lebak sibu Manipur bu siba unamak se koi amana amada sainaba bara thangjenaba gi hota ko united di lebaga thimminaba gi daga lei madu hek tawbu taraga di amna thu madu Manipur sai verakani.
Moirang Purel Apunba Central Committee and Moirang Purel Apunba Mairapaibi held demonstration today demanding justice for two students and recovery of their bodies. The sit-in was staged at Moirang Purel Lai Haraufam Community Hall. Farmers appeal to relevant authorities to remove the check dam constructed by Panchayat on Poiropat, which passes through Thambalnu Kaitel in Andro constituency. Speaking on this today, Poiropat Farmers Development Cooperative Society Secretary K.H. Tomcho warned that they would launch an agitation if the dam is not removed. The society, under the initiative of Water Resource Department, started dredging of Poiropat since October 7. Tomcho said Poiropat feeds water to around 2,500 hectares of paddy fields, but the check dam has restricted water supply. He said no MGNREGS projects or others can be taken on Poiropat without the consent of the society and the department. Tomcho also appealed to locals to keep the stream clean. Online land transactions kick off for the first time in Jiribam district today. Registration for National Generic Document Registration System (NGDRS) began for the time under the supervision of Jiribam DC Krishna Kumar IAS at Sub-Registrar Office Jiribam. People in the district take prior appointment from Sub-Registrar Office for online registration without have to wait. Data entry of NGDRS is being supervised by SDC Borobekra M. Devananda. Press release from World Meitei Council appeals to Meitei community in Manipur and those residing in other parts of the world to refrain from celebrating Ningol Chakoba festival this year to show unstinted support and solidarity with bereaved families of those killed and displaced victims of Manipur unrest. Now it's time for a small commercial break. After the break, we bring you news on World Mental Health Day observance across the state. So keep watching Impact News.
Free breast cancer screening camp from 9 to 19 October 2023. Able free OPD consultation with our specialists and 15% concession on mammogram and other investigations and 10% concession on surgery. For appointment, please contact Caesar Hospitals. Free eye screening camp in observance of World Sight Day on 12 October 2023 from 9 am to 2 pm and ever 15% concession on investigations and procedures. For appointment, please contact Caesar Eye Care Foundation or call the above given numbers.
Get 50 to 90% off on top fashion brands only on Myntra's Big Fashion Festival. Shop now.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching Primetime English Bulletin. Manipur joined 31st World Mental Health Day observance on mental health is universal human right today. National Health Mission and Directorate of Health Services Government of Manipur organized the state-level observance at Hotel Imphal in North AOC. Speaking on the occasion, Health Minister Dr. Sapam Ranjan appealed to all to feel free to consult with experts when experiencing stress instead of hiding it before it comes a full-blown mental illness. He maintained that stress is inevitable and one has to learn to keep it at bay. He pointed out that advancement of technology is becoming a major factor of mental illness, which is a digital pandemic, and added that addiction to internet and social media is a form of digital pandemic. The health minister appreciated the state mental health team for its efforts to prevent mental illness among displaced people who are taking at relief camps and those affected people in various parts of the state. Health Family Welfare Commissioner Pradeep Kumar Jha, Health Services Director Dr. Koiram Sasi Kumar and NHM State Mission Director Dr. Samorjit Ningombam were among the eminent persons who attended the program.
Stress-related illness, people should come forward. Stress to I cannot worry. What can you know? I cannot do it. It's hard to look at the doctors, the role of psychiatrists to market. The ideas of psychologists and then sort of lay now in pocket. What can you do? Munna can you get me one of those high doctor Tamba, Punjalaga, Tamba can the other illness. And what can you get the child, the Matam Director, child, the Perichari, no Kundaba, and then all sorts of other illness of the mental health related. And I think we should take this that mental health is a universal human right. And we all have to be mentally fit without any stress.
Two-day event on World Mental Health Day jointly organized by Department of Psychology, Manipur University and Indian Medical Association Manipur State Branch concluded today. MU Vice Chancellor Professor N. Lokendra, IMA Manipur State Branch President Professor R.K. Lenin, former head of RIMS Department of Clinical Psychology Professor Aksaya Kumar and Dean of School of Human and Environmental Science MU Professor S. Jibon Kumar graced the closing event held at the VC's Court Hall of Manipur University in Imphal. Speaking on the occasion, Professor R.K. Lenin stressed the need to keep both mind and body healthy. Expressing concern that many people are likely to suffer mental health issues owing to prevailing unrest in the state, Professor Lenin encouraged people to seek timely help from experts.
The theme of this observance is nothing but mental health is a universal human right. For whose human right we are talking about? We can think of two things, as Sir has rightly suggested that we are considering about the human rights issues of those people who are mentally ill. It is not only the mentally sick or mentally unwell people, but those handicapped persons, differently able persons, and other people who are unable to join with the so-called normal persons are also discriminated and their rights were deprived.
Bishnupur district also observed World Mental Health Day at Lemaram Awang Laikai Community Hall today. District Mental Health Program and District Health Society NHM Bishnupur organized the program. Bishnupur CMO Dr. L. Rai Chandra, Lemaram Village Chief Laichombam Tomcho, Hainobok Lemaram Waroiching Apunba Women's Joint Committee President Ningthozam Sumila and Consultant Psychiatrist of District Hospital Bishnupur Dr. N. Gyaneshwar graced the event. Certificates and cash prizes were distributed to winners of a painting competition which was held for children at relief camps. District Mental Health Program and District Health Society Jiribam also observed World Mental Health Day at Jiribam Hospital in Ningsing Khul. Experts highlighted various mental illness like depression, anxiety disorders, addictions, seizure and Alzheimer. ASA workers and locals among others attended the program. Indian Psychiatric Society IPS Manipur State Branch also observed World Mental Health Day at Konthoza Maka Khabam High School Relief Camp. Speaking on the occasion, IPS Manipur State Branch President Professor K. Santibala expressed concern that many people who are taking refuge at relief camps are going to trauma, anxiety and other mental health related issues. She said IPS Manipur State Branch will stand for them. IPS Manipur State Branch held a free health camp and distributed free medicines and relief materials to the inmates to mark the occasion.
Pakhatliba, kiriba, khangiba, moina thengnagiba, mahau lampok, ugiba, adagi aki akhangda leihiba mayamdo huji post traumatic stress disorder haidana yam thoklai adu mase thokpa mayamam su yenge hospital da su yam lai relief ki aduna thoktaba nate adu hen awareness piraga moida pangal hapaga mokoi je help to seeking help lawna nabagi su koina mokoi se sida motivate tawna bagi su makhalamani koina adagi tumba yadaba chaba yaraktaba ade unga masi masida dugi wakhanda dan khan laiba kauthokpa ngamdaba sinjing du uba manghada ki hanba khangpre khangna angangna hogatpa kappa sina chingba cases mayam adum yam lai aduna mokhoi ta laga su akhoi leiri mokhoi se help tawgani.
RIMS Department of Psychiatry also observed 31st World Mental Health Day at RIMS General OPD Block. RIMS Director Professor G. Sunil Kumar Sharma stressed the importance of maintaining good mental health at the event. National Sports University Department of Sports Psychology also observed World Mental Health Day at Indoor Hall of National Sports University in Kuman Lampak Men's Stadium. Child Development Project Officer of Department of Social Welfare Miranda Yendrembam was the resource persons. Vice Chancellor of the Sports University Dr. Usa S. Nair attended the event. One-day awareness cum training program on safe use of chemical pesticides for consumer safety was held at ICAR Manipur Center, Lamphilpat today. During the technical sessions of the program held under tribal subplan, subject experts Dr. Akoizam Romila, entomologist ICAR and Dr. R.T. Ningombam ARS, senior scientist entomology ICAR stressed the harmful effects of using too much chemical pesticides during agricultural activities on human beings and environment in the wake of climate change. They also enlightened the farmers attending the program on integrated pest management and diversification of crops for increased productivity with minimal harmful effects. They called upon farmers in the state to carry out proper identification of pests using the right pesticides and to opt for organic pesticides for benefits in the long run. Around 30 farmers from both hills and valley took part in the program. District Skill Committee Kakching organized a day-long skill training program for inmates of relief camps open at indoor stadium of Wabagai Higher Secondary and Kairak Sanatombi High School in Kakching District today. The program was organized in association with KVK Taubal and MSRLM Government of Manipur. Sawambung Sangit Samaj held its Diamond Jubilee celebration today, paying a floral tribute to those who had laid down their lives in the ongoing unrest and departed founding members of Sangit Samaj marked the event held at the association's office in Sawambung. Before we end, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Unidentified gunmen opened fire on oil tankers and assault drivers along National Highway 37 in Falbiri Road. Malong Oil Depot and oil pumps to remain shut from tomorrow. Indefinite curfew imposed in border town More after miscreants tried to bulldoze remnant structures of burnt houses and shops belonging to Meitei community. Home Department warns against encroachment and occupation on properties of displaced people and religious buildings. Violators would be liable for contempt of court for non-compliance. Committee on Tribal Unity Sadar Hill Kangpokpi decides to claim bodies of Kuki-Zo people from morgues in Imphal. Kotu makes it clear their decision is not a peace initiative. Chief Minister Nongthomam Biren says Manipur violence handiwork of outsiders, a fight between government and drug mafia. Biren claims Manipuri Kuki people still trust him. Supreme Court denies extension of interim protection from arrest to Dr. Kamkhan Son Hosing, a professor of political science at the University of Hyderabad. And Manipur observes World Mental Health Day. Health Minister Dr. Sapam Ranjan encourages all to seek help in dealing with mental health issues. That's all we have in this bulletin. Thank you for being with us. Coming up next is Prime Time Manipuri Bulletin. So have a great evening and stay safe.
Awaba Fundukjaba, Poirei Lay Marol Apunba Mayra Paibi Lubki President Oirambi, Ima Longjam Mem Jobina Manung Matam Chadana Lekidabada, Lango Laima Kulen Chingmi